Hi, my name's Tathra Street, and I'm a leadership futurist, and I'm about to do a very brief review of Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. So this is a book that I read via Audible recently, or was read to me by the author, which I always appreciate. And it was something that I didn't really have on my list of things to read. I'd heard about Zappos, and I remember going to the website one time and thinking, oh, I'd love to, look at buying some shoes. I like shoes. Maybe I could buy some shoes from them. And because they're an online shoe retailer, and they were recently, well, not so recently now, but they were bought by Amazon for a very large sum of money. And so they were kind of brought to my attention, and I'd heard they were like a good company and that kind of stuff. And but when I went to their website, I saw that they didn't deliver to Australia, so I couldn't become a customer. But there's not a lot of companies out there that have people who are aspiring to be customers and being disappointed that they can't. And part of it is that they have a promise in terms of delivering, hence the title, Delivering Happiness, that they can't keep when they're delivering outside of the continental US. So the book is about Tony's journey with, from where he came from, but also with the company and how he sort of first heard about it and the journey from its origins to being essentially bought by Amazon, but some of the details of that deal in terms of it being independent and not being cash and it being completely about stock. So it was pretty fascinating. And so it came to my attention through one of my clients, and he had been reading a couple of books over his holidays. One of them was Good to Great, and the other one was this one. And this book refers to Good to Great a lot. And I was actually talking to someone about that recently, so it's now close to the top of my list as far as books to read. So one of the things about Delivering Happiness that you learn is the extent to which the company wants to go to make their customers happy. Again, hence Delivering Happiness, and how they chose to become very values-based, based on a previous negative experience. And that's something I have a lot of respect for, how they developed the values, how they continue to develop the values, how they make it completely transparent, how they share what's really working for them with the world. And if there's anyone in customer service who has any desire to improve what they're doing, what their business is doing, what their customers experience, this is an awesome book to read. I highly, highly recommend it. The other thing that was interesting that I guess appreciated towards the end, he talks about happiness and the whole concept of happiness and how it's something that we are actually not particularly good at as far as being able to pursue it and then be able to experience happiness. And Tony Hsieh went to great depths to explore what happiness means, both for his own experience from his personal life, for his customers, kind of just like the concept of happiness in general. And it had me thinking about that in terms of my own experience of my own life and pursuing happiness or not pursuing happiness. I remember I had a friend when I lived in Canada, and I remember her really clearly saying, I just want to be happy. And for some reason, there was something about that that just had me go, okay, but, how does anyone pursue that? And the pursuit of happiness, there's movies and books about it. But one of the things that comes out really clearly is that when we are identifying things that we think will make us happy, often we achieve that and we realize, oh, this isn't what makes me happy. So in reflecting around my birthday a couple of months ago, no, hasn't even been a month yet, just feels that way. I want to read to you something that I wrote in my journal that I recently reread. So this is about where I'm at in my life. And I wrote that I have not pursued happiness, but I've found it. My life is good. I'm attached to what I've created in my external world. And if it were all gone, I know I'd be okay. I have the internal resources to be content with just myself. I belong to myself. And that's coming from inspiration from Braving the Wilderness from Brene Brown. I'll do another book review on that. And then I say, there's so much that I don't know, that feels uncertain, that I'm afraid of, and that's all part of being human. It's often not easy. Let's try that again. It's often not easy, and fear stops me. And this year, I will let go of that in a profound way. And honestly, I think that's something that's going to make me happy. So anyways, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you choose to read the book. And if you do, I know you'll get a lot out of it. I sure did, both from a human being perspective and a business perspective and a customer experience perspective. It is fantastic. Highly recommended.